Hey, Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. I have a career challenger server review for you today. This is OnFleek for LCK Team Sandbox Gaming. One of the best junglers in the world, really high rated up on the Korean Challenger ladder. This is a really good Elise game for him. I wanted to show you a couple of things here. His decision making when it comes to clearing camps and looking for ganks, and also the lanes where he looks to really prioritize this game to snowball the game. And there's two turning points in this game where he makes a really interesting decision that I originally thought like maybe this wasn't like a good like an efficient move, but it actually like pays off. So like the thing that I noticed with like Korean Elises is that they actually make the game intentionally really messy. So, they're deciding to just like pressure like an objective and just ditch their camp or something like that to force the enemy jungler to like react to them. So I want to show you this game here. Let's jump into it now. Let's start with OnFleek's runes. He goes Electrocute, which is incredibly standard, really the only rune you go on Elise. With Cheap Shot, you can switch it out for Sudden Impact, but Cheap Shot works really well hitting cocoons, but obviously you rely on hitting cocoon. Zombie Ward, really good, especially you notice he goes Sweeper Start here. Clearing wards, really getting that river control, especially combined with Water Walking and Absolute Focus. Like, Elise is like the River King. You sit in like brushes here and here, you sit there, wait for the jungler to come, cocoon, just one shot. And then Relentless Hunter, which again is really good just for being really speedy around the map, trying to be as impactful as possible. So let's jump into this here. Quick analysis of matchup. So we have a Lucian top here for the enemy team, and it's a Pantheon. So this is instantly a lane I'll be looking at straight away. If Lucian is really only this pick here is to dominate lane phase. That's literally it. And if he can come here and abuse, Pantheon CC with that, like Lucian's gonna have a tough time this game if OnFleek focuses him. The matchup Kiana jungle, like again, Elise is really strong early game, so it's sort of going to be dependent how the fights start. Whether Elise gets the start or Kiana. Camille into Rise, this is really gankable. The really only way Rise can get out is if he lands a good ultimate, which is always difficult because Elise can just hold a cocoon. And then we have a Thresh and Jinx. Thresh lanes are always tricky to gank, but we do have a Nautilus Harness, the CC to follow up here. So pretty much the maps for OnFleek right now. Elise is a really good gank champion. So again, but I'll be really looking to focus the top side of the map. So we're looking for an invade here. Getting the zombie ward proc. Alright, so let's start so we're looking to check red here. See if there's anyone potentially invading it, but no one's there. Gets a really strong leash from Harmer here. And again, I think that OnFleek decides to start here because he is looking to be topside to gank this Lucian here. So, I mean, you can do a red start with Elise, but again, this is really dependent, and I really do think that this is the right move, especially for the matchups in this game. Alright, so Harmer's turrets are definitely helping out OnFleek a bit. Three camps topside into red buff. He's level 3. Alright, so this is looking awesome for OnFleek here as Elise. Lucian looks like he's just placed a ward here, so we don't know where it is, but the wave's in a really good position. So even if potentially he is seen here, he can just walk up and still potentially get a kill. So this is really good for Elise in terms of the wave positioning. The only threat here is that there is the risk that Kiana is potentially looking to counter gank here. And you actually notice Pantheon actually went to sweep here. So let's just go back a little bit here. So Pantheon has sweeper as well. And then watch this. He goes here. And he actually sweeps this for this Elise. So now OnFleek knows that this is 100% not warded. Alright, so we get the chain CC there, and Kiana is there, but we get really good CC onto the Lucian here. We do flash for this, but unfortunately, Kiana does a lot of damage. And she actually has a double kill. So really, OnFleek's on the back foot now. Their jungler's just gotten 2 kills. Going to be able to secure Rift Scuttler for free now. Potentially we'll have to concede bot side, top side jungle. So this is actually not, I mean, that gank at the end of the day was not really worth it at all. He's still going to deny a bunch of creeps for, actually no, Pantheon has TP, so that really doesn't matter, but forcing, you know, Pantheon to burn TP there. So they definitely won out on that. OnFleek just goes bot here because he knows Kiana's top side. He just needs to give top scuttle. There's no way he's going to get there in time. She is stronger. She has double buffs. Even though she's low health, she will regenerate back to full health with Smite from the scuttle. So knows just to ditch that. So looking for scuttle here, but sees Rise here. We know where Kiana is right now. So if he can get to this gank quick, this is free. Burns the flash. Back off. There's nothing more here for this gank. Camille's low. We've burnt the flash. Camille still has flash. Now, as a jungler, you're thinking, all right, I actually want to re-gank this. Flash, again, a flashless Rise is absolutely like free kills, especially for Elise. So, back off. We know Kiana's top side. Bot goes missing here. This is actually pretty scary. We need to kill this pretty quickly. Although, OnFleek does have Smite still, so can't really contest it. Alright, so notice here, OnFleek, alright, so OnFleek actually doesn't, he just ditches Gromp there because he wants to take the safe path and catch this wave. Camille doesn't have TP, so he wants to soak up all this experience here. He knows that Kiana's now topside taking his camps, and that's just what he's going to have to deal with. Especially showing mid here, you know, there's just no way Kiana's just not going to take those. So actually looks to stop a base here on Rise, which, this is really, really big. Stopping like the momentum of like Rise right now is like 16 CS up. This will sort of stuff him up just like very, very slightly. Like now there's potential for Camille to maybe get a push and start roaming. So this is that's actually a pretty big deal, him stopping that base. Alright, so there's back pings going because Kiana is topside right now, potentially taking the golems. She did deny leave one little creep, which is a really good trick when you counter jungle. Alright, so Kiana shows up top. OnFleek's now going here, looking to potentially get a kill. And unfortunately a fail gank here now, just looking for golems. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention was, notice that OnFleek has a yellow warding trinket right now, and he started with sweeper. So he does this several times in this game, and I've been trying to like figure out like why he does this, and I'll talk about it more later in the review. But basically, like when his sweeper was on trinket, he just wants to reset, get these, and then he just actually keeps switching back and forth throughout this game. So I thought that was really interesting. But we'll see like how he uses it exactly, and every time he bases, I'll actually take note of that. Forgot the first time. Alright, so we're just doing Gromp here. Alright, it's actually really, really bad bot for here, but OnFleek is still top. So I think that he definitely should have just based now. OnFleek does only have 400 gold, but he's trying to look to hang around top. Like right now, if you think about it, like Pantheon's pretty low. We don't know where Kiana is. She could be looking to counter gank. Like this is pretty risky. Lucian just decides to base anyway, so he doesn't show up. Actually, Kiana is bot side now. Alright, so Kiana's bot side. Bases, still sits on his warding trinket, gets a pink ward. Mid unfortunately dies. Alright, so I presume he's going bot side here. Rift Scuttler and everything spawning. His bot side spawning soon. Dragon is a potential bot. This Heimer is pushing. We see Kiana on bot camps here. So OnFleek decides, alright, this is opportunity. Remember, he burnt flash early on the Rise. So this is going to be very, very free. Nautilus is here as well. There's just no way that Rise is going to be able to escape this gank. So really good decision to skip his camps there to go for that kill. Alright, so he's just shown here that he's gone, like the enemy team was able to see that he went topside here. Notice his entire camps are up, Dragon is alive, the yes bot is pushing right now, but he actually decides, hey, I want to just continue helping my Pantheon, keep trying to shut down this Lucian completely from this game. So he sees the opportunity, he's pushed up here, goes through river for the absolute flank. They kill Lucian here. Kiana comes for the counter gank. Gets actually a pretty good ultimate. OnFleek's just kiting him. Kiana misses that. And they actually get Kiana and she doesn't get anything. So they get a big shutdown on here. OnFleek is now 3-1. Really, I thought this was really interesting decision making for him. Like, maybe he thought that like Kiana was going to be top here as well. Like maybe it's like a bit of luck involved here as well. But this here is like a huge turning point for the game. Like he's just got to shut down gold. He can really start snowballing. He's 3-1 now. And again, the big thing is he's really shutting down this Lucian. So I thought that was a really, really interesting take instead of, you know, looking to take his bot camps. So base in now, going bot side dragons up. He has bot pushing all the time. Fortunately, bot lane dies again. Alright, so again, decides to ditch his camps because he sees Ryze walks into river here, and he actually wants to maybe go for a pick or something. This is again just Elise being River King. So gets a really good chunks. Remember, he still knows that Ryze is flashless, so he wants to commit onto this. Definitely needs to start looking to back out here or wait for his team. Kiana's arrived here. Their enemy bot lane died like or base before, so they're going to be back soon. So he needs to start playing this really slowly. So they look to potentially pick this Kiana. Again, look at this. He just waits. He thinks maybe Kiana might just walk into here. Really patient. He knows that the enemy bot lane is most likely going to be here. Waiting for Nautilus. We're just going to wait to play this out slowly. So it comes on the flank here. And just one by one, like this is just Elise's strength. One target, move on to the next target, next target, next target. And really, really good usage with the Nautilus and Camille. And again, this is like really showing like the aggression, following like that Ryze and like making the game like sloppy, messy, like looking for those skirmishes in river in their enemy jungle, and again just like looking to pick people as much as possible. Like you've noticed right now, like all his camps are out right now, but he still decides to potentially go for that. So really, really using Elise really effectively, his early skirmishing power, and you know he has got his upgraded like Runic Echoes item right now, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. So bot's pushed up right now, Rift Skull is up. Definitely an opportunity to take this dragon. He sees Ryze roaming up topside, so there's no real threat of anyone taking this dragon. We have river control. Alright, just taking jungle camps now. I'm not sure why OnFleek didn't do his Gromp there. Gromp gives like a lot of experience in gold. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure why he did that. Alright, notice here, switches out for Sweeper, buys 2 pink wards. So he's constantly switching his trinket back and forth. Looking to get those double wards when he can, and then back to Sweeper to again utilize his zombie ward. Zombie Ward Rune, and also to continue, you know, getting pressure of these rivers so he can get objectives, help his laners out. So just taking red there. Ryze shows mid. Lucian is missing. Pantheon has a base. We need to be a little bit careful here. And look at this. Notice this aggression again. Looking to potentially maybe look for a dive, like Ryze is lower mana. Really, really, really aggressive pink ward here. And just looking for a pick, and Kiana actually shows up here. So there's definitely a situation where Kiana could have literally just tried to walk into this jungle or something, and then he just gets that free kill. So really good intuition by OnFleek, looking to really put on the pressure. So now that he's seen that Kiana is not continued advance, like Kiana literally can't walk in here. So he's used the psychology of Kiana needs to concede topside to do and start Rift Herald right now. Mid's like pushed in. not trading heavily, so just is really free. And now he knows Kiana's definitely bot side, so I thought this is really, really smart by OnFleek. So I mean, there's definitely like risks to this as well. Like, yes, he sees Lucian here, so he can continue just doing this, and he has Smite. But I mean, Lucian could come down at any moment, right? So yeah, he gets it just before Lucian. So notice here, he actually uses his Sweeper Trinket before he takes the Rift Herald. So because obviously you can't use the Sweeper Trinket when you have Rift Herald active, so he's just using it just in case there's actually wards here, even though there definitely isn't because no one saw him do Rift, no one contested him. So sort of little tip there, use your Trinket before you pick up Rift just to utilize its effectiveness. So Rise is up, but his flash is back up, burns that. Alright, so sees, burns the flash, sees Rise is low, instantly looks to Rift Herald here. Really put on the pressure. Lucian comes in, tries to kill the Camille. And they get a good pick there. Alright, so they do get like 2 turret platings off this, but I really actually think this is a waste of a Rift Herald, to be honest. There was no like wave here. Yes, they killed the Lucian and they sort of forced them to sort of like engage on here, but I just really don't think this is worth, to be honest. I think Rift Herald could be used a lot more effectively. So nothing more to get here. The enemy team has reacted to mid lane. Now to just go do camps. Soaking up experience mid wave. Alright, Thresh is here, so there's really not much we can do. Kiana's bot. Don't know where Jinx is. Alright, so again, seeing Lucian top, straight there. Lucian's 0-3 now, like OnFleek's just absolutely putting the pressure on this lane. Uses Sweeper. Check for wards. Really nothing Lucian can do there, uses his flash. So 1900 gold OnFleek has now. He uses this opportunity of Lucian dead. Again, there's no way Kiana can 1v1 the Elise at this stage, so he's very comfortable doing this. He has Kimura to back him up. And at the same time doing this counter jungle, he's also protecting his Pantheon to get free turret plating. So looks to base here. It's 2,000 gold. Buys his Oblivion Orb, so he's looking to build Morello Nomicon. And again, look at this. Switches out to... Oh no, he actually had Sweeper there before, so he actually doesn't decide to switch out to Sweeper. This base. Does Gromp Dragon's coming up soon. Alright, so looking to help bot now, really putting the pressure on. This is a 6-1 Elise right now. He's not giving the enemy team any room to breathe. Helps get some plating on here. You get the pick on Thresh. Right, so this is great for the team now. Thresh like really committed to that, burnt flash and everything. Now this is free Dragon, free Rift Scuttler, and blue and stuff is spawning soon. So really good decision again. Just making like he's like you could say the enemy team is like making mistakes, but at least just really can capitalize. Even when the enemy team is not feeling like they're actually doing anything, Elise can just hit that cocoon and you're just dead. You know, that's like the beauty of Elise. And again, you have to be really confident in being able to hit your cocoon to do those sort of plays. But this is really just getting objective after objective for OnFleek's team here. So I mean, you know, he's got 11 of the 17 kills right now, so definitely have really high kill participation. Remember, he knows that Raz burnt flash before earlier when he burnt it mid, so goes for a potential gank. He knows Kiana's top, so there's no threat of a Kiana gank. Hits the cocoon, and there's just no way this Raz is going to survive here. So really good usage of exploiting Raz's cooldown on his flash. Alright, so looking top now here. Entire team's here, but the enemy team does decide to back off. doing his camps. Alright, so basing on 1,000 gold, can get his Morello Monarch here, and here you go, look at this, he's switched out his sweeper now, his yellow, so he had yellow trinket before? No, okay. So he still has red, okay, I think he switches this one out, yeah, so look at this, he switches this one out for yellow trinket, he has 2 wards here, so whenever the cooldown is off on red sweeper trinket, I think that he thinks that it's just way more worth to get wards, so you get the 2 wards instantaneously when you have, again, the full cooldown. Since he hasn't used his 2 wards for so long, you just keep switching it out, refresh it for 2 wards. So I think that's really smart there, using that to just really control vision of this map. So goes bot side to clear his camps. Rift Scuttler is spawning soon. So just being efficient here, clearing his camps. Alright, so you notice that he like pans top and then just backs off, and this danger ping's going in here. This is obviously a bait by Lucian. We don't know where almost the entire enemy team is right here. No reason to walk into here. Don't want to risk it at all. So again, really, really smart. But Thresh does show up here. And look, they actually were. Knowing that they were panning here, this means that enemy team has like control of topside jungle here, and Kiana's literally camping here. So that's why OnFleek decides to not go for that. If they want to go and sit there and waste time top, that's fine. But now he knows that Jinx and Thresh are mid, so there's only a 2v2 here, which this team will win, and they actually commit in diving to Pantheon, so he actually sees this again instantly as an opportunity. I'm going to come here. Kiana just died. I want to catch off guard this Lucian. And gets the kill there. So really looking like OnFleek's map awareness is just really on point. Always knowing where he needs to be, where opportunities he can get. So come in straight mid here, looking to gank the Jinx. I mean, it's just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. 8-1 and 6 right now. Looking to finish off his mid tower. 3 of the enemy are dead. Alright, so he places one of his yellow trinket wards in really, really deep in there, so knows it's safe to potentially do Rift Herald here. Let's have a look how much gold OnFleek has. He has 1,400 gold right now. Knows where Kiana is. This is pretty safe. Rift Herald, he has some deep vision, knows if anyone's coming for it. Alright, so he's gotten Rift, looking at potentially picking off this Lucian now. Right, looking to back off, but notice he rifts here, so his entire team's starting to come topside now, and he wants to, like, this is really the next objective on the map. This is the last tier 1 standing. All these tier 1s have gone. He wants to break open this, the Rift Herald, use Rift Herald to break open this, potentially, like, you know, pressure here, look for dives. He has his entire team here. Definitely really good, and he's going to drag, like, the enemy team here, right? And the thing is they have control. This is really good to use, because if he's pressuring topside, and the enemy team feels like they have to react to this, his team has an advantage because they know who's coming with all this vision. So really good utilization of the vision. And again, this is like him switching out to his yellow trinket. Sort of the effectiveness of what's happening with it. So enemy team doesn't even bother reacting to this. I mean, they would know if they're coming anyway. They have full vision. Takes Gromp. Has 2,100 gold here. Alright, looking to potentially get a flank here, but just backs off. There's no reason to walk into here, risk this. They have no vision. Mid's not fully pushed up. Dragon spawning soon. There's just no reason to go for that. You always, like, going into, like, a side of the map where you know that, like, almost only Lucian was showing topside. That means there's literally 4 just sitting here in the jungle. There's just no point, especially face checking the Thresh is just the worst case, like, scenario for you. So base is on 2,200 gold here. gets a stopwatch, and look at this, he's switched out to sweeper now again. So whenever yellow trinket's on cooldown, he switches to sweeper, and whenever his like sweeper is like fully off cooldown and he hasn't used his yellow trinket wards for a while, he buys his yellow trinket for the wards. So looking bot side now, looking to get his third dragon of this game. Alright, looking to potentially get a pick. Like again, this is where Elise is really strong, sitting on top of pink wards, never letting the enemy team face check. And the enemy team just literally can't face check because Elise is just literally just that threatening of a champion. Alright, free dragon there. They have river control. There's no way the enemy team can contest that. So the enemy team is all topside now. OnFleek's looking to come help here. Alright. So this is really risky, and you'll see why in a moment. Why? I mean, just looking, assessing the nature of the map right now. The enemy team, no one, they all ditch bot side. They've obviously looked to control top side for river, Baron river, and help the Lucian push top. So he walks into here, gets hooked by Thresh, literally like almost dies here. So really just greedy pathing there. That's really all it was. Like, I'm sure he knew that they were potentially there, but he could have thought that maybe they were committing. But a bit risky pathing there. And actually greeds for this red buff here. Doesn't really think about Rise at all, and actually dies it. So really didn't need to die there at all. And potentially didn't have to use his stopwatch if he didn't do that risky pathing. So this is a bit of a throw from the red team. As you can see, pretty much like 4 die there. Alright, so again, notice he switched back to his yellow trinket. He has 2 wards now. Enemy team's looking to do Baron, but they're actually not off it. So OnFleek uses this opportunity. So this means that the enemy team is most likely all based. So he uses this opportunity to clear his bot side jungle and then, you know, be efficient and then go and look to take potentially Baron. Alright, so going deep into the jungle here, looking for a flank. Jinx shows up at perfect timing. So this is, again, right place, right time. OnFleek's looking for someone to catch on this mid wave. Jinx flushes away, uses her Mercurials. I notice how OnFleek's just sitting in the brush here, looking to just use his range. Instantly backs off, he's used his Q, there's no way he can kill that. Just kiting, constant kiting, really, really good skirmishing from OnFleek's, obviously with the team as well, but OnFleek's Elise, really, really good skirmishing. So 4 of the enemy team are dead now. Free Baron. Kiana's alive, potentially maybe look for a steal, but he does have the 2-level advantage, so his smite does do a lot more damage than Kiana's. Kiana actually does go for a kill on the Hammer there, but she'll probably get traded for that still. Super slippery champion. So Rise comes here, they're all just dying one by one at this stage. Alright, so 2200 gold on OnFleek is 10, 2, and 10. Let's get the scoreboard back up. Besides Kiana and Rise are dead, pretty safe to go take their jungle. Alright, doesn't actually decide to switch to Red Sweeper. I'm not sure why he didn't do that, if that's always been his sort of pattern in terms of switching. Maybe he just forgot or something. But I definitely think Sweeper is the way to go at this stage of the game. Getting control of sides of the map slowly, especially with Barons, slowly chipping down towers with your Baron buff. So sees Lucian overextended here. Just goes for the kill. I mean, like, he's literally just picking up kills, like, on clockwork. Like, honestly, it's really, 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 just really showing the strength of just Elise's gank potential. So OnFleek's forced to use his... Sort of sucks there, he went to go help the team and unfortunately got caught by the Thresh. So now they're actually going to lose Dragon off that. And actually waste a bit of time on their Baron. So that's definitely not ideal for red team. Sort of coming pretty close to like 3k gold differentiation right now. So really they're not that far ahead still. Obviously OnFleek is definitely like the strongest member of their team right now. They get a pink on Jinx, which is really good. Now they can start to pressure. They still have a bit of time left on Baron. Who has Baron? Oh no, Baron's actually completely gone now. So yeah, pretty much wasted that entire Baron, to be honest, from those deaths, unfortunately. Alright, looking to go for some picks here. Nautilus is roaming up. Jinx is still dead, so we definitely have the numbers advantage here. Looking to chase Kiana, gets the kill. Really good cocoon there. And they pretty much end the game off this. So again, I really want to show you this game. Just OnFleek did not let the enemy team breathe at all. Was always right place, right time. He's obviously got really good map awareness. Really just showing like the effectiveness of map awareness. Like there's so many situations where if he wasn't looking at the map, he would have missed the opportunity to go for a gank there. So again, really good game for Elise that you can take away. Let me know in the comments below any thoughts you have, what you learned. Again, really thought it was interesting the way he I haven't really seen that much. Constantly switching out your trinkets, but definitely maybe something you could look to do or test it out in your own games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.